Blended Kingdom Teens is all about the real-life struggles of living with divorced parents.
We give you honest conversation and practical tools for living out your identity and purpose as we chase after God together.
Hey, BKT! Sorry, I love doing the intro. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, what is up?
Hey, guys.
Season 4, episode 4. Let's go.
Yes, it is Sidney.
And Jerzi.
Back again.
Hello.
Today we are going to be talking about therapy and counseling, and like the benefit of it, of seeking like professional help,
Right.
just with the things that we go through as blended teens and stuff like that, and how important that is just for us all around. Really, we talked about self-care in the last one, how to actually like if there are like deeper things, how to bring those things to
Right.
light with seeking counsel through that.
Yeah, and how biblical it is, right? So
Yeah.
like as a Christian, how biblical it is to seek counsel, to seek wisdom and therapy from others. I feel like a great verse that's going to go with what we're going to talk about today would be Proverbs 11:14. It says, "Where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there is safety." Having people surrounding you, supporting you through what you're going through, and knowing the depth of your thoughts and your feelings through your trials and the good things is so important. And it just creates this safety net. I feel like is just a really good like imagery to have. A safety net is to have people supporting you whenever you fall and people you can tell everything to. And so having that counseling is such a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I just thought about this while we were talking about it. I was like we read the New Testament. I was like, oh my gosh, Jesus. But like, if you read like the later books, like Paul wrote like 13 of the books, and Paul is like the greatest counselor, if you think about it, because all these people are like coming to him with all these problems, like people from all over like that area, even
Right.
not even
Like,
that area.
everyone seeked
like everyone
counsel.
was like seeking counsel in Paul,
Yeah.
because Paul was like the guy for it. He was like their therapist at the time.
Right.
So I thought about
That's
that.
funny.
I thought that was
Imagine
kinda
walking
funny.
to a therapy room and saying,
Are you Paul?
"Hey, Paul."
Hey, Paul.
Okay, so sort of to just get us into this conversation, I mean, I would like to personally share just some of my own
go ahead.
experiences. I mean, it's really hard sometimes to be so vulnerable with someone.
Yes.
I think that is why truly like so many people are afraid, or maybe aren't afraid, but are just timid to go into depth with someone that you may not know, or someone that you feel like doesn't know you or doesn't want to see that part of you. That is scary.
Right.
And so I think one of the first things that I had to just tell myself was like, this person wants the best for me. Like this person is positioned perfectly where they're supposed to be by God to receive all the things I'm going to say to them and give me the wisdom that I need.
Right.
Like, including if you're a Christian, like seeking biblical counsel. So hopefully that person that's counseling you is a Christian. I feel like is a really, really big deal. Having that
Right.
person that's counseling you, having the same faith is a really, really big deal. So that they're also coming from the word. So I would say my first experience being counseled, I remember it so vividly. It was right after my parents' divorce. My parents put me and all of my brothers in counseling through our church. And I was probably 9, maybe 10. And I sat down. I did not know this woman. She looked so cute, but crazy. Like, I don't even know, like she had crazy hair. And I was like, oh my gosh, my mom left me at this house. And no, but she had this little puppy, and her name was Rue.
Oh.
And she just like helped me put down my guard and
Yeah.
understand that I am just like a ball of anger,
Yeah.
and I need to be relaxed and helped put down that wall. And so she played with me, and as I played with Rue, you know, my counselor, she would talk to me and ask me questions. And I mean, as a young girl that her parents had just gotten divorced, and she's confused but angry, but also she's just a kid, and she doesn't know how to feel these feelings. It was the first time that I'd been asked questions about how I feel about this, and I was actually able to answer them. She gave me a bucket of rice, and next to that bucket of rice was a bucket of Avenger heroes and different, like, you know, Wonder Woman and like Monsters Inc., like different things like that. And she asked me to grab each character and make my siblings and my parents, like, name them to a character. And it was so interesting because you could tell by the person I chose for each of my family members was how I perceived them through the divorce.
Yeah.
So like my older brother, he was like the hero, the father figure in the story, and my dad was like the Hulk. Like, and like I didn't even think I didn't think I was that upset at my dad.
Right.
But I like assigned him as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And she helped me see that. And so through counseling, I stayed with her for so long, and then we moved. But I would say that was the start of my healing through my parents' divorce, was that little 10-year-old girl playing with that puppy, having that conversation about superheroes, to see really how I felt about my parents' divorce.
Yeah. Play therapy is awesome.
What?
That doesn't stop. You can do that at any age, and I do it myself. So, I actually put myself in therapy when it was actually January of this year. I put myself in therapy because I actually kind of took it out on Jersey, and I noticed it, and it was just like, it was something that I didn't even realize that I was doing. I just did it because it was just like, it just happened. And I was like, okay, why am I doing this? I ended up actually like leaving. I walked out on Jersey, and like, I didn't talk to her for like 2 days.
It was really rough, but we're okay now.
But like, I didn't know I was doing it. And so I was like, okay, I can't do this, because I'm like, one day, like, somebody's going to come into my life, and I cannot walk out on them. Like, I cannot allow myself to do that. So I put myself in therapy. And so I started seeing a counselor at ECU, and I love her. She's awesome. And so I told her, like, I signed myself up because I walked out on my roommate. She's like, what? I said, I don't want to walk out on people anymore. And she was like, okay, well, why do you think you did that? I'm like, oh, well, I know exactly why I did that. It took me 6 years to realize it, but I did that because that's what my parents did. Going through the divorce, my parents walked out. Like, they literally left the house. I watched it. Like, the last like memory that my dad like lived in the house was him literally like leaving. Like, he walked out, and I like still to this day, like me and him like got into like an argument or whatever, and I was just super upset. And I brought that up to him like literally 3 or 4 weeks ago. Wow. And I was like, this is what I remember. I said, you see the divorce one way, this is how I remember it. Yeah. You left me. And so it was just like, not that I have a fear of people leaving me, it's I have a fear I'm going to leave people that I need. And so I had to put myself in therapy, and I've slowly just started to realize, and I'm like, yeah, this is why I do it. And this is my situation. And it's not that my situation changed. That's another thing. It's like, just because you started therapy does not essentially mean your situation is going to change, because what happens in therapy kind of like stays in therapy in a way. And it's sometimes hard to actually apply that. And so I was in college. And so everything I'm telling my counselor of what happened through me over the years and like what's going on currently didn't actually change, because those people weren't immediately surrounded. They didn't surround me. I didn't live at home anymore. And so it was definitely just interesting, because I got to like, nothing changed, yet everything changed, because I changed. I notice it. I like realize it now. I understand why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I understand why I get so mad. I understand why like I have these impulses to just walk out. Yes, to just walk out on people. It's because it was my default for so long, because I didn't even do it. I just saw it.
Right.
And it just became what I did. And so, yeah, therapy for me was a huge, like, just eye opener.
Right.
Because I finally understood, which I feel like is the most case for a lot of people, is like they just, like, most of the time, or sometimes the problem is fixed within therapy, but most of the time people just understand others and themselves better, which is so awesome. You said get a godly counselor. Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're striving to be like a good, godly Christian and all this stuff, and you're striving for that life, and you already have that life, and you want to seek counsel, seek it in a godly manner. Go to counseling, go to therapy. Absolutely recommend it.
I definitely don't think that anything bad could come of it.
No.
Because it is so biblical. Like, the Lord is going to use whatever encounters you have in counseling, in therapy, for his glory. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even get into your word with that. Get into the word as much as you're going to therapy. Get into the word more, actually. Because the more you learn about God and the truths and everything that he promises and tells you, you will apply and you will understand not only yourself, but your situation, and those people in that situation better.
That is so good.
So.
I'm so happy that we like talked about this, had this topic as one of our episodes, because it is so true.
Yeah.
And we just want y'all to know that we are praying for y'all and next to y'all. We need to continue seeking counsel. We need to continue seeking therapy and seeking Christ within a blended family as we just continue our testimonies out of our parents' divorce. And
there's no shame in therapy either.
So
keep that in mind. There's no shame in it.
No shame.
No shame.
Hey, we are so excited to see y'all at our next episode.
Absolutely.
We love y'all and we are praying for y'all. And as always, don't forget to be strong and courageous. Bye.